Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K edition of Disney's Nutcracker and the Four Realms. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos daily. You can also find me over Twitter at Movie Guy 365. Nutcracker and the Four Realms in the Best Buy 4K Steelbook edition. It was directed by Les Hallstrom, also partially directed by Joe Johnston, who you might remember from Captain America: The First Avenger. Interesting pairing there. So yeah, they had a co-directing credit, although Hallstrom did the majority of it. I know Johnston came in for a few reshoots. So yeah, okay, so it came out around Christmas time, and I think billing it as a Christmas movie. Yes, the movie technically takes place during Christmas, but it's no more Christmas movie than I think you would compare, interestingly enough, to like Die Hard. While it takes place at Christmas, it is not necessarily the focus of the movie. So I think that may have turned people on or off. I believe the marketing also had mixed signals of what the movie was. I initially thought it was going to be kind of a like a Alice in Wonderland kind of thing, maybe a little bit of Wrinkle in Time thrown in there. If I had to give it a comparison, it's definitely Narnia. Like it's almost a beat for beat, telling narratively of that story with the less of the the religious aspects of it. Yeah, so I would compare it to that. That being said, it's kind of a basic story. There's not a lot to chew on there. In fact, I would say I'm still not sure who this was really geared towards. Was it geared towards kids? I think a lot of the symbolism and the storytelling would kind of go over their heads. If they're just relying on, pretty costumes and that kind of thing, I will say it does that magnificently. Actually, the set design and just the costuming was brilliant. It was really good, which I'll touch on a little bit more on the picture quality aspect of the movie. But yeah, I mean, really, it's not a holiday movie. It's really something you could throw in almost any time of the year. While aspects of Christmas are kind of bookending it, I wouldn't throw that in that camp. So, the one of the daughters of three, finds something, well, it was given something by her late mother. And, that leads to, her grandfather or her godfather, played by Morgan Freeman. And it's like an adventure. Imagine if you've seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that's kind of how it kicks off. And it almost ends the exact same way. They even mention time and all that kind of thing. But it's, overall, I will say, I was kind of like losing it a little bit, losing interest in maybe the first half. And when the true story kicks in, it got interesting, but not in a way like, oh, okay. It's more of like, yes, let's move this thing along so we can be finished. It's okay. It's not something you would revisit or be like, oh, I feel like watching this. I don't know. But it looks, once again, I'll get to the 4K part. It's something really nice to look at, but there's not a lot of substance there. I did like, actually, Keira Knightley in this. She started off a bit annoying, but, got a little more interesting as the movie went on. Mackenzie Foy was, I thought, very good. I didn't really have any complaints that way. It's just, narratively, it's not overly interesting. I think they dress it up so nice, but it's not, at the end of the day, it doesn't have a lot of substance to it. It's worth a go around, but it's not something you should really feel like you have to own. But did you buy it, or do you own it? So how does it look in 4K? I'm happy to say, given that this movie was actually shot on film, I automatically gave it a level of appreciation there, because a lot of movies are shot digitally these days. So you're going to lose that filmic quality, and this one has it in spades. It looks like a movie, like a movie. It doesn't look like it was shot digitally at all. There is, yes, a lot of reliance on CG, and overall, like, it doesn't intrude on the 4K. It actually looks really, really nice. The HDR looks great. And whereas certain movies that are shot digitally take advantage of that HDR in most ways, like huge pops of color and deep blacks, this one is like all detail. It's just detail. It looks good. The uniforms worn by like the soldiers, the costuming in the various realms, they look amazing in this movie. There are a lot of instances where your 4K HDR will work as intended for detail. It's a beautiful looking picture. I love the fact that it was shot on film. It looks great. It does. It's actually a very good picture. And it's not something like, as I said, digitally you're going to get a different look and you will get a different version of the HDR. This one I feel like it does its job. The detail looks really, really good. This movie's pretty to look at. The costuming alone, the set design, just there are several scenes where I feel like they just knocked it out of the park. It's really something you could almost study in a way of like how to set lighting, that kind of thing, and your costumes, and it looks great. I honestly really, really enjoyed it. Now we're accompanied by a Dolby Atmos track, and it does have some good nuance to it, but it's nothing that's really going to set the world on fire. Your speakers are a little bit ambient here and there, but I didn't really notice a whole lot going on. I kind of expected more, to be honest. I know you see Atmos and you're automatically like, oh my God, but this was very, I don't want to say it was underwhelming. I don't feel like it was utilized, but also it's not really the movie to do that. It's an adventure story. There's it's a story about family, but I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with the action, as it were. Overall, movie is okay. It's nothing special. It's worth watching once at least. If you happen to buy it or blind buy it, hopefully you got it on 4K. I did a brief comparison to the Blu-ray. I didn't feel like it was huge leaps and bounds, but with those HDR highlights, as far as detail goes, you notice the difference. But the overall picture quality on the Blu-ray was actually really, really nice. But I would also go with a 4K. To me, it's a difference, and you're definitely going to notice it. So yeah, please leave in the comments below. Did you see the Nutcracker in the Four Realms? Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.